It's been a great week in the market for Bitcoin and certain altcoins, but going into the weekend, I would expect a little bit of a pullback. Meanwhile, I still do believe we go higher heading into next week. So if you have open trades, what can you do to mitigate some of that risk? And which tokens would I be looking at over the weekend that if they take a little bit of a dip to potentially either buy into or add on to a trade? I'll go over a couple of altcoins that I am eyeing over the weekend and why I do believe heading into the next week, we will see another leg up for Bitcoin. Without further ado, let's jump into it.
And we'll jump right into it and not waste any time heading into the weekend. But before we get started, guys, as always, like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more every single week here on In the Game. We have you covered across crypto, everything you need to know in the markets, as well as prediction markets, which we've been absolutely crushing it on our live streams. And I'll actually give a few picks at the end over the weekend. But let's just jump into the markets. Obviously, Bitcoin got as high as 97 this week. But this has been happening the last 3 months almost. We see a pump at the beginning of the week. It kind of almost gets erased during the end of the week. Now, I don't think we're going to erase this 5% gain over the 7 days or the 10% gain over the 30 days. I just wouldn't be surprised if we did sink a little bit lower on a low volume weekend, which is usually what happens. We're going to lose steam. Not as many people are going to be trading on Saturday, Sunday. People are going to be on their couches watching the NFL playoffs, watching the Premier League, whatever the case is. That's just how it goes, right? They always say the traders are away from their desks, etc. But I think moving ahead, there's only good things that could be happening in the market. I mean, I think we're going to see a catch-up continue with Bitcoin catching up to other commodities like silver, copper, gold, etc. Stocks have slowed down a little bit. We do see Mike Novogratz saying he believes the crypto market structure bill, which is the Clarity Act, will still pass soon. He thinks it'll get done in the next few weeks. Kalshi odds still show about a 60% forecast that we're going to hit 100K before the end of the month. And I absolutely agree with that. So for me, I'd be looking to add on to a leverage position. I have an open position still on Bitcoin. And I am going to add on to it, especially if we slip into those 93,000 levels. Anything in the 93s, I'm probably going to take a little more on a long position. But otherwise, just looking across the market, one thing I really believe is what this tweet kind of goes over. And we've talked about this quite some time as far as what you should be holding, right? In 2019, everyone sold, the generational low of big winners like Aave, Uniswap, etc. So the lesson the market learned was, oh, if you just hold forever, we're going to get rich, right? Because everything goes up and we're just going to abide by that logic. And I mean, that's obviously not been the case. The market has changed completely and conditions are getting better, as it says here in this tweet. But I think the best advice here is exactly what he says, to just buy a few winners and one or two clear front runners in certain narratives. Hyperliquid or, Aster or, whatever the case is in the perp deck scene, AI tokens like Tau. That's exactly what my focus has been. And as Becker says here, AI alt season, we are seeing a big run in meme coins that are like Claude code. That's going to go away. But I do think that AI is one of the best sectors to be buying into. And even from a spot perspective, I like Tau at these prices at about 270, but you can see what's going on the Tau network. People are making crazy gains if you are trading some of these. Halftime, Hermes, we have platform up 81%. Now, these are all Tau subnets. So basically just AI projects building with Tau. So to me, that is a great position to watch this weekend as well. It is down 2% on the daily and even is now sunk after today's losses down on the weekly for 2.7%. I do like Tau, especially if we hit that 250 level. I wouldn't be surprised to see us back over $300 next week, because to me, I think that crypto has finally shown a little bit more momentum to where this pump is actually going to last. I really do think that it's due for a recovery, a little bit of a delay from what we should have had in Q4 2025. So that's another one. I would really be looking at positions on Tau at that 250 level if we were to sink down that low. But then an update on the trades that we had open also, 𝗬𝗃𝗲 is holding pretty strong, which to me is very bullish on a red day, still up another 5%, up 34% on the weekly. So another one I'm going to be watching. If it sinks down a little lower, I will add to my leverage position, but I am leaving open all 3 of my open trades. from the last video, which were 𝗬, 𝗃𝗲, and Bitcoin. And if I'm looking across the market here, as far as what I would be potentially scooping, I think Hyperliquid's due for a run. When we just take a look at the price here, like nothing, it's like stagnant on the weekly, which is good on a red day. Even it's not, you know, it's up 0.5%. But there's just so much volume that floods through Hyperliquid. I'm definitely looking for Hyperliquid to take another leg up. But for me, I think it's going to be a slow weekend. I think that it's probably best not to over trade. The volume's going to be low. Let it play out. But I think heading into next week, we probably see a continuation on the Bitcoin charts, because to me, I think it's bound to happen with everything else in such a bull run. And then like we see here, even though the Clarity Act is delayed, I still think this gets done very soon. I'm really bullish heading into the back half of January here. And those are 3 active positions I have open: 𝗃𝗲, Bitcoin, 𝗬, but also I think spot buys on stuff like Hyperliquid, 𝗬, even Bitcoin. Like I DCA Bitcoin every day, so that's just a little bit different. But another one that I would be looking at leverage positions for would be Solana, because the trenches, quote unquote, the trenches are back. I mean, we're seeing actually $5-10 million runners. We actually recently had a $100 million runner, White Whale underneath the Sol network. So for me, Sol in the 140s is also very, very cheap. I think especially for the long haul, if you're trying to get in on a network like Solana, could be a pretty good opportunity here at the 140 levels. Otherwise, just looking across the space, yesterday we had the football.fun TGE. This was trading around $100 million. So big congratulations to their team. We can see people of the airdrop actually are holding the majority, 45.8 million fun held on the platform. We have Space, an upcoming prediction market platform that's partnered with Kalshi. They acquired the Space ticker on Hyperliquid. So I absolutely love this. They're doing their public sale currently. And then last but not least, heading into the weekend, we've been having a really good week on Kalshi. I mean, the mention markets have been treating us phenomenal. We just won this Mamdani one. We profited this morning 120 on the Melania Trump speeches. Over the weekend, I have The Rip to be the top U.S. movie on Netflix. It's new with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I think that's going to come through. Call of Duty League play today. I have the Paris Gentlemates to beat the Riyadh Falcons. That is a pretty high confidence one for me. And then heading into tomorrow's games, I'm taking the Roughing the Passer No. It's at about 78 cents right now, which is honestly pretty cheap. Usually these are around 85 cents, in the high 80s even. So I like this play here at 78 cents. So I have Roughing the Passer No in Buffalo, Denver. I also have the Paris Gentlemates in Call of Duty. Also, I have The Rip to be the #1 Netflix movie by the time Tuesday comes around. I think there's no question about it. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, this is going to be #1 on Tuesday. So those are some active trades that I have going into the weekend. I will be actively trading Kalshi markets this weekend. I will not be actively trading crypto unless I want to close positions if we sink down too low, and then I'll look to reopen heading into Monday. But trade with caution this weekend. I think the volume's going to be low. Take it easy this weekend. Get away from the screens. In America, it's a holiday on Monday, so I think that we're probably going to see a little bit of a slow burn over the weekend. So don't take it too seriously this weekend. Just watch the charts. If you have leverage positions open, manage your risk accordingly. But I wouldn't be concerned with a weekend dip, because I think next week we'll probably see a strong leg up on the Bitcoin charts. And if you want to keep up this weekend on prediction markets, crypto, all that stuff, follow me here on Twitter at 𝗪𝗪𝗪pedia, and I will always answer questions, get back to you, post alpha, post my trades across Kalshi. And also with the chart hackers with Dylan, we have something really cool coming out for the community. So we'll be announcing that here pretty soon for you guys. That's going to be it for today's video. I think that, not much going on in the market. I think it's going to be slow with the holiday on Monday, but definitely preparing for another leg up heading in to next week. You guys like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you guys on the next video. As always, trade responsibly, play well, my friends, and of course, stay bullish, my friends.